Tomorrow is President's Day, a day for honoring all of our nation's chief executives, to which we say hats off. Our Rocca seconds that motion, only he would say, make that a stovepipe hat, in deference to the president who wrote America's greatest speech.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation.
I'm not in the habit of loving presidents, even the best of them. Don't get me wrong, I revere Washington. I'm in awe of the genius of Thomas Jefferson. I admire the courage of FDR. But with Abraham Lincoln, it's more personal.
With Lincoln, you can get close to him.
David Grubin, director of a PBS documentary on Lincoln.
He becomes greater not because he's perfect, but because he's vulnerable, because he has this extraordinary sense of empathy.
The sun shines bright.
They lived in a log cabin that was probably a little bit wider than this trailer and not quite as long as this.
In Kentucky, I climbed aboard the HistoryMobile, an exhibit as unpretentious as the man himself, where I met other visitors who spoke about Lincoln as if they knew him. Crystal, what do you think?
He probably would have been one of those active kids. He likes to run around, but still he obeyed his parents.
He was a farm boy and did normal work. He was not a very rich man, and he grew up to becoming the president and one of the most powerful people in the world.
And do you teach adult extension classes?
No.
Okay. Yes, most of us know the story of our 16th president, a man who lost his mother at age 9 and 2 sons before his own tragic death.
I mean, losing your mother at an age like that and your father not being an instrumental part in your life, I just think it puts some things inside of you that you can't learn from a book.
If he had been handsome, would he have been as interesting to sculpt?
Okay. He is handsome, and he's handsome in a rugged sort of way.
Louisville sculptor Ed Hamilton.
Some people say, oh my God, you know, his cheeks are all just caved in, and he's got this funny long neck, and he's got these hands. But there's a beauty in that, man. There's a beauty in that.
I think this house perfectly fits him because it's a modest structure.
At the edge of Washington, D.C. is the Lincoln Cottage, where the president came to escape the summer heat, to reflect, and to write the Emancipation Proclamation. Richard Moe is president of the National Trust for Historic Preservation.
He was an ordinary person who lived and breathed and loved and suffered just like everybody else.
So that doesn't make him larger than life.
Well, his deeds make him larger than life, but at the same time, he exhibited this extraordinary humanity.
Cottage director Frank Milligan.
In some cases, there were travelers from overseas that came to America to see two things, Niagara Falls and Abraham Lincoln, and they were not going to be deterred in either case. He would usher them into this room, and they talked the night away, even though that he was brought downstairs in his carpet slippers.
A friend of the president's once wrote, Lincoln had no superhuman qualities, but he had those which belong to mankind generally in astonishing degree. Perhaps that's why we love Lincoln. He's not superhuman, he's extra-human. More soulful than the rest of us, he speaks to the best of us.
When Lincoln was 35, he went back and visited the spot where his mother had died, and he wrote poems about it that were very personal. When he becomes president, he speaks for the country. He's writing communal poems, the Gettysburg Address, the Second Inaugural. They're poems for the whole country.
And that government, of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.